Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the next in our second Social Emotional Learning in Education Community Speaker Series. I'm really excited today to be able to bring you all to here to hear from Javian Johnson. Javian Johnson is a social emotional learning champion. Maybe you've seen the posts and the information and the content he's been providing to the SELinEdu community, and he's been doing some great work supporting all of our work. Tell you a little bit about him before we get started. Javian is the founder of Create My Story. It's an organization that works with youth on social emotional learning through high quality programs that include motivational speaking, group coaching sessions, and training. They also work with educators on implementing SEL through high quality programs that include keynote speaking and professional development. And if that doesn't sound like enough, in his day job, he's also an assistant principal in the Cleveland, Texas school district. So he's got a lot going on. I'm really appreciate the fact that you're taking the time to join us today to talk a little bit about emotion management. So Javian, take it away.
Perfect. Well, first of all, I really appreciate the opportunity, Matt. Again, thank you so much for letting me join you live. So emotional management, this is the hot topic right here. So let me just go ahead and throw this out there real quick. There are so many people out there that are above 18 years old that just don't know what they're doing. These are the individuals that will react. So you go to a restaurant, you get mad at the waiter, you go out and you're driving, you have road rage. And so just because you're a certain age doesn't mean that you're emotionally adapt to be able to handle anything else in life. And so that's where the learning stops with a lot of our community members, is that once we hit 18, for some reason, we think that we're grown, but we don't develop this up here, your most important thing, your mindset. The thing about life is that it's not necessarily what happens to you, it's how you choose to react to it. So if people think about their happiest memories, if they truly think about what makes them happy, most people say going somewhere, a vacation, or some type of external thing. But the thing is that why? Why do you have to assign so much emotion to that? You could have two people go through the exact same situation, but the thing is that one person will have a different reaction to the other person. And the thing is that we get in our heads that we have control for some reason, but we don't. The only thing that we have control over, three things. First, that's your thoughts, your actions, and your emotions. Everything else is completely out of your control. And so once you really grasp that, nothing can get inside of you, nothing can affect you. And just this skill right here, I know we were talking earlier, way before this chat, this is a skill, your emotional management, your emotional intelligence. You look at any research out there, you have people that have IQs, but they're broke. You have people with PhDs, doctorates, a bunch of them, but they're broke. Why? And then you got this average person that made C's in college that ends up being your CEO. And that's the thing, is that it's not about the technical stuff. It's not about the academics. You first have to reach that person. You first have to make people feel good. And that's what this all comes to, is that people are not going to remember what you say, what you do. They're going to remember one thing, how you feel. And so this transferable skill, managing your emotions, it's deep. It's a stoic approach that goes to it too. The social emotional learning doesn't just stretch from when Dr. Cornell came up with it. It's more than that. This is something that's been happening for years and years and years and years. And you see the most successful leaders. You go on YouTube right now, or excuse me, not YouTube. You can go on YouTube, Google, type in quotes, and you'll see all these leaders. And they're not the smartest individuals, I can tell you that. Henry Ford came up with a quote. Why would I waste my time? He went to court for this. Why would I waste my time knowing all this useless knowledge when I could just press a button and have somebody know it for me and do it for me? And that's the thing. This is where it all boils down to, is that this skill, managing your emotions, this is by far the most important skill that anybody can have. And it starts in our school systems. it starts in our homes. And the thing is that everybody's a teacher. Every single individual is a teacher. And so when people say they don't have mentors and everything, that's a complete lie. It's because you can learn from anybody. You could take different skills from anybody if you're really paying attention. And so this emotional management, when you really study people, you usually, your parents, your guardians, whoever's in the household, that's what you gravitate towards. So if you see people yelling, upset all the time, that's what you're going to gravitate towards. And the thing is that you're an adult and you're doing that. And that's what you're spreading to others. And you're showing that that's all right. And that isn't all right. We know that situations happen. We know that life happens. And it's not about life just happening. It's about how you choose to react to it, period.
Yeah. I think that idea you brought forward about kind of everybody's a mentor and we're learning things, and I think that's a really interesting way to kind of frame how we learn and practice something like emotion management. And I think for me, I kind of see it's like, it reminds me that I am a mentor, that there's people that are, I have kids, but that's not the only people. There's all sorts of people I interact with, and we're all like that. And that we are a mentor to people around how to successfully manage our emotions. What I'd like to kind of explore that for a little bit. So all of us watching, we're all mentors. What are some things that we as mentors can do to support the children in our lives, to support the adults in our lives with managing emotions?
Perfect. So this is a key concept. We got to understand why first, because once we understand why, we learn from others, then you can really paint and really use it. So way back when the world first started, there was no words like this conversation that we have. It wasn't developed. And so people would feed off of your facial expressions. So if I'm happy, I can know it. If I'm talking with kids, they say, how do you know Mr. Johnson's happy? They say, oh, look at his eyes. His eyes are squinting. He's smiling. So that means he's happy. And so your most vital communication is nonverbal communication. That's what you're going to pick up on. How you carry yourself, how you walk, how you talk. And so that's where this all stems from, is that our psychology is booked to people's nonverbals. And so that's what we pick up. We pick up what people are doing. Even if they're doing the wrong thing, we're still going to pick it up. And if your environment's everything, your environment has a huge part of what this looks like. And so that's when people get in their heads that, yeah, I'm on a pedestal now because I'm in this position. I live here. And that's not the reality of it. And so that's when people don't realize that what they do, what they say has an effect on people. They'll tell you, and this is the worst thing I hate. I hate this. I will absolutely hate this. I hate when people tell you don't do something and then they do it themselves. Don't go over to there, act like a fool when this person hits you, and then all of a sudden you're doing the same thing. It doesn't equate. It doesn't add up. And so for our students, they need to learn from each and every individual that they come in contact with. So that teacher that might be yelling, or that parent that might be yelling, either you're going to tell yourself, hey, I'm going to be just like them because this is what they're doing. It's okay. Or B, you're going to be shied away from it and you're going to do the opposite of it. And so that's the thing. In life, there's bricks. So each and every interaction that people come into contact with, you either get that brick that you're supposed to get from that situation to build you up towards your best self, or you just miss out. So people coming up with these excuses, I don't have a mentor, I don't have a teacher. Yes, you do. Whoever's around you, that's your teachers. They're either going to teach you the right thing or the wrong thing. You can still learn from them.
So I think the thing that stuck out with me there was also this focus on what we do instead of what we say. I think I was just recently doing a de-escalation training for trying to help, what do you do when somebody's super angry and worked up? And at the training, somebody's like, what do we say? What do we say when we do this? And the trainer's like, no, it doesn't matter what you say. No, people don't hear you. It's what you do. It's how you act. It's how you present yourself. And I think it's a great thing for me. I think that's a great thing for all of us to kind of keep in mind as we think about how we are supporting us. Is what are we doing instead of what are we saying?
Mm-hmm. And just to touch on that just a little bit more, if in de-escalation, what they'll teach you most times is verbal de-escalation. They're getting away from all the holds and the restraints. And so just a quick psychology trick to help you when you're elevated and you're trying to de-escalate somebody, all you have to do is first approach them on their level. Stay calm. Don't show emotion. Yeah, they might be throwing stuff, kicking stuff, yelling, screaming, cursing you out, but that's the thing. It's not about you. And that's the thing with this emotional intelligence, is that it's never about you personally. It's about the situation. It's about whatever else is happening. And so when you're approaching that student, you need to really make sure you stay calm. Take your time. Talk very, very slow. And so it starts calming the other person down. And like we're talking about earlier, that those nonverbals. I just did this the other day with the student. Hey, I see you're upset. Come here, let me show you something. Let me show you something. He had a Dragon Ball Z shirt on. And I said, all right, that's Goku right there. I want you to stand up. We're about to get our Super Saiyan on. And so we did. We stood up. We did a grounding exercise, but he didn't realize this, though. It was to get him back from that anger state. And so what we did, I said, all right, spread your feet out. I want you to put your hands together just like this, like we're charging up, Mm-hmm. And then I want you to breathe. I really want you to breathe. Take a deep breath in, then breathe out your nose. Take a deep breath in, breathe out your nose. Each time slower, slower, slower. And just like this, you could see his emotions, everything just changed. He was compliant. He was ready to respond. He was ready to go. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is that when we have these emotions that come up, I'm not saying that emotions, it's not about just hiding your emotions. That's not what it's about. It's about regulating those emotions and knowing which emotions to apply and when it's necessary to apply them. Mm-hmm. I still get upset for a second, but I remember, hey, you're better than this. What are you doing here? Mm-hmm. What's the option if you just let anger take you over? And I can guarantee that the option is always going to be not in my favor. It's going to be in that other person's favor. Yeah. And there's a quote that says that anybody that's capable of angering you becomes your master. And I don't know about anybody else. I don't want anybody being the master to me. So,
yeah, I think what I appreciate you in there is this. First of all, the exercise you're going through, and you were doing that along with the student. Yeah, I think that's a really powerful thing to be doing. And then also just this kind of idea of that you experience these emotions too. I think that's and when the people around it, when the students are working with the children that are in our lives, see us not burying emotions, not pretending they're not there, but actually see us going through those steps of feeling an emotion and recognizing it, and then not letting it necessarily dominating us, letting us almost choose how to react to it. That's going back to that showing people and mentoring them.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that you're, as a mentor, as a teacher, don't ever try to front like you're perfect, because that's not reality. You're an adult. This is a real world. Stuff happens. Show them how to do it the right way. It's like if somebody has a drink, whatever, there's a responsible way to do it. There's an irresponsible way to do it. And so as we're modeling for our kiddos, yeah, we have situations, but if they could see us applying those same techniques that we're teaching, those nonverbals, again, that's what it comes down to. They're going to pick it up. Your subconscious is what picks up everything. This conscious mind, that's only 30% of what you're actually picking up. It's everything else around you that's affecting it. And so when you have those emotions, I was at my computer one day and I was getting situation after situation after situation that came up. I had a student that visited me and I was just at my computer. I was like, man, this is rough. And I said, all right. I just started breathing. He said, what are you doing? I said, man, I got to get back calm. I got to get back centered. He said, what? And I just showed him. And then I'm just walking and I see him do the exact same thing. I'm like, okay, look at you. And that's what it's about. It's not about being perfect. It's reality. This is the real world out there. The real world isn't nice all the time. And with social emotional learning, especially teaching people how to manage their emotions, you don't have to perceive like you're the best at this stuff. It's progress. And that's what we got to teach our students is that there is no competition. Don't expect you to be on the same level I am. It's because you don't put the practice in like I do. We're different people. And so it's just progress in self. Okay, maybe I'm angry 4 times today, but tomorrow, let me go ahead and approach it again. Maybe I hit that 3 times, maybe it's 2 times. And that's all it is. It's just that initial progress in yourself and just really reflecting in yourself. And that's exactly how you manage these emotions. It's nothing hard. It's really not. You don't need a curriculum. All you got to do is just go out in the real world and show them how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just be that example.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you so much. Right to the end of our time here, Javian. I want to echo Carl, who just posted in here saying there's so many takeaways in this. This has been a great conversation, and I really want to thank you all. Thank you so much for taking the time, for joining us, and for being a part of the SELinEdu community. It's a privilege.
Of course not. It's my duty to give to y'all, and so that's what it's about. I have something inside me. I was made a certain way, and so that's what it's about. I want to spread it. The more I spread it, the more people get better. I want you to be better than me. I want them to be up here talking because y'all are better. And so that's what it is. It's just giving back, giving back, giving back, and don't be afraid to do it. Thank you, Matt.
Of course. So for everybody who's interested, I just posted in the comments some more videos from Javian. Please feel free to go ahead and take a look at them. Also, don't forget that you can continue the conversation in the social emotional learning and education community. We would love to be able to have conversations like this all the time, and come in, drop in, have a conversation, post something, post a question. We'll be doing more of these speaker series coming up as well. So with that, I'm gonna say bye to you all. Thank you very much for taking the time. Thank you very much, Javian, and we'll see you in the community.
Thank you.